Welcome to the Journeyman Cave, a podcast where we meet and chat with some of boxing's most seasoned road warriors, hosted by Mark Shakespeare and Chris Scarfe.
Welcome back to the Journeyman Cave, everybody. Round 46. With me as always, Mr. Mark Shakespeare. Go on then, I'll ask you, how are you doing?
No, I'm going to ask you, mate, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
That's nice to hear, mate.
Back for part 2 with Russell Henshaw. We go into his career a bit more depth in this one, don't we?
Yeah, we most certainly do. And I'll tell you something, Scarfe. I mean, there's some names on that record. I mean, we ain't spaced a couple of years. Isaac Chamberlain, British champion. Lawrence Okolie, world champion. Chris Billam-Smith, world champion. Jack Massey.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on, mate. What a resume he's got. And like I said, I did briefly touch on the first intro. The resume is amazing, like a bit like Alistair Warren's. And I think when we did this interview, like I said, and I realised as well how close he could have been to actually, you know, being that champion. He was always that one fight away, wasn't he? Just that little bit more, and he could have been the man. I think
He could have been in the posh hotels on a regular basis.
Yeah, but then again, he wouldn't have come on our show then, so he's probably best off not doing.
Point. I think also, do you know what I noticed as well is, I think, and you might be able to correct me here, I don't think I've met anybody who enjoys fighting as much since Jason Ball, way back in, round 11?
Yes, he's definitely another one. He's on Jason's level, definitely. Yeah, he loved a little scrap, didn't he?
Yeah, he got quite animated at times, didn't he?
He loved it, didn't he? And he also liked to piss, didn't he? And all in some bins. Well, that
he did piss in a bin, didn't he?
He did piss in a bin.
I forgot about that.
And also the old moment with the shit stain keks against Lawrence Okolie in the weigh-in. That were a good one.
Yeah, we're getting a bit graphic here, aren't we? It's only intro.
Well, you'll have to listen to it to find out,
We'll have to crack on. So before we do, just if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, whatever platform you listen on. We are on YouTube now, just the audio, but if you like to listen there, get us on there. Every little follow and like and share helps. So, we'll crack on with part 2 with Russell Henshaw.
Let's do it, mate. So after Isaac then, mate, after, you were that close.
Close.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a guy wrote down here. I don't know much about him. I've got a question mark. Yeah, Josh Lopes, was it? Or Lopes? Lopez?
Oh, Joseph Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first journeyman fight.
Yeah.
I can remember actually Isaac come to watch that one because it was your call. I can remember walking up and Isaac come to see me and went, "You've got this, Russ." He says, "He's got no heart. Take his heart from him. You'll beat him." And I was like, "I'm here to lose, mate." And I seen his drop. Like, so he says, "What? Why? Why are you doing it? Why you give up?" Yeah, and I can remember seeing it drop from him, thinking, why, you can beat him. So anyway, it were Joseph Lopez come out at your call and all his fancy whatever come down. And I felt bad, to be fair, because I just covered up, let him hit me, covered up a bit. Did 6 rounds with him, and like, "Oh, go and come on, hit me." And then went to promoter. I was like, "I'm sorry about that, it's boring," but I got my money off him. I felt bad for like taking money off him for just not even doing it. Do you know what I mean? But the memory that stays with me from that one was Isaac being disappointed in me because he come to watch me beat him up. It was like he thought if I was training, so that was like a second lifeline that I got, but I didn't take it because the next one was right. That was at York Court. My first trip to York Court, to be fair. There was a nice little cafe I used to go to be fair, for that one.
I like a good cafe me then.
There's some wicked calf straight across from your call. I was in there because I fought there a couple of times on the bounce or whatever, so I kept going there and crack with more. It was quite good.
You used to get a little bit of spending money, didn't you?
Didn't you? Yeah, if you stayed there, we did the day before weighing or whatever. You can't talk about money, can you? But yeah, you get your purse, then they give you an allowance, spending allowance for the next day while you're there and whatnot. Take your son, take pictures, or take your son to wherever you want. And
come on then, tell us what you watched that day.
No, this wasn't that day. This was the next time I was there.
Oh, so you weren't the only time you went to pictures?
Oh, then, no, I went to pictures at Wembley and I went to watch, I can't remember what I watched there. I think I watched Action Man. I can't remember what I watched there. I can remember going to watch Coda and the Two Strings on my own.
Kids film.
Yeah, kids film. I was bored, and I was in. That was when I fought with Robin Dupree, another one that won't fight me as an amateur, but then all of a sudden fight me once I've started to lose. I went down there, that was quite a bad one to be fair. Getting the weigh in, and there were some away fighters there making the sound sick in toilet, bad, like, boffing up just to make weight, and I thought that's a bit bad, bless them. But anyway, that was Robin Dupree. Was the night before I was working away in Lincoln with my mates for Prestige Brickwork Groundwork. I was working away, and we went out. Every time we was working away, we went out. I says, I'm fighting Saturday, so I'm not going out, not going too mad. Anyway, I'll have a red wine because my weight was a bit high. So I thought if I have red wine, it dehydrates you. I had a red wine. Everyone's out taking crack. Another red wine. Whiskey. Another whiskey. Another whiskey. That's about 3 in the morning.
Sound like these guys.
That's about 3 in the morning. We're blind now, walking back to the hotel. I had to get back, straight back home. And I thought, shit, I got on the scales. I was heavy. So I put a sweatsuit on, sat in car down to London. Fan eaters on, sweated it out, made the weight. No, that can't be right. It must have been the night before, because then I stayed at the hotel there. Stayed in this, don't know what I said was staying, and so he paid for this hotel on his phone. It was like in middle, I'm saying Ice and Green, but that's Nottingham. What's your call? Where's your call? Bethnal Green, that's it. And it was like a house with a little room above it. There's a bed, a box, a toilet, and a sink, and it was like. And I've been being put up in like proper hotels, and I'm like sitting there like, yeah, I should have probably tried to win it. I wanted to be sat here, but anyway, I got my phone out, and I thought, what should I do now? So I looked on what's happening. Cinema. There's a cinema. So put it on Google search, started following it around. I've got my fresh skinhead ready to fight. Fight ritual was always shave your head, get ready for fight. Walking down the street with my kit bag. And it was like, I don't know, we walked through a market in Bethnal Green, and everyone was just staring at this skinhead youth walking down the street, and it was like, it was savage to be fair. And I got there to this cinema, what's on? Coda and the Two Strings. I thought, oh, I've got to do something. So I'm sat there on my own watching a kids' film. there's only me in the cinema.
I wish we could have gone and filmed that.
There's only me in the cinema. Yeah, it was a good film. I've seen it since and all, to be fair. It was all right. Then I got back to the fight. I think it was 10 rounds with him for one of these made-up belts.
Yeah.
Same again, he couldn't hit very hard and just like popped away. Now, I think he bust my eardrum. He caught me right on the ear, perforated my eardrum. That was like, ooh, I just felt something. But it didn't phase you really. I was just like, that's good. I got through the 10 rounds. Same again. I looked on his thing, and I think 2 fights later, he fought for the Commonwealth.
Yeah, he lost to Luke Watkins.
You know what I mean? It's like, I was so close without even knowing it. Then whether Dave would keep chucking me lifelines, thinking beat him, and I could have done that. But I'd already gave up. I wasn't bothered. I would already give up on winning out or trying for out. Like I say,
seems like Dave did believe in you, mate.
They did. I think they believed in me a lot more than I did.
You should take a lot of credit from that. I'm proud, mate.
Yeah, I'm really proud. He looked after me really, really well, to be fair.
Yeah,
really. He always rung me before every fight. He rung me up, making sure, come on, kid. It's the same before Billing Smith. It was like, he's not been tested. You can take it to him. But I was already there just to work around and lose. But I wasn't very good as a journeyman, to be fair. I should have learned how to block more rather than blocking to your head.
That's not your game, Russ.
That's not my game. I thought, because after I'd kind of gone down that route, I thought, right, 50 fights, 50 grand, easy, blah, blah, blah. I thought, yeah, I'll have 50 fights. But it didn't actually work out like that. I kept, like I say, I bust my ribs, perforated my eardrum. I can remember ringing the doctors. So I had to go and see the doctor. You have to get signed off, and you have to get a doctor to sign you back off. I went to the doctor with a perforated eardrum. He says, come back in 4 weeks, and then we'll sign you off. I said, 4 weeks? I'm thinking, if I can't do that for 4 weeks, then I'm already signed off for another 4 weeks. I had to Leo next week. I'm a fast healer. She went, Russell, you're not superhuman. You're a human. You will heal in 4 weeks. I'm like, I won't. I'll come. I'll just... But yeah, no, it took its time.
But when you did come back, mate, from that, we got your final win against Josh Burke in Walsall, mate. So what?
I went to lose.
You went to lose?
I went to lose, but I had a couple of mates come down to watch, and I started doing the first round, and I thought, he's crap, I can't lose. And I got my friends there, so I just beat him. And then...
Convincingly?
Convincingly enough to get the win in the away corner. Do you know what I mean? It didn't happen, did it? But not taking away from him, it might have been all right, but I just thought, I'm not losing today, so...
Good man.
I didn't lose. And then I didn't get a phone call for a month. And I thought, I better not do that again.
You were good to get a win on board, though, mate.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. But then again, after you thought, oh God, mate. After you'd done that, you went in with Jack Massey, mate.
I know, that was quite a good one, to be fair, because I had Lawrence Okolie the week after. And he said, I've got you a little 6-rounder, or was it a 10-rounder? I can't remember. Got you a 6-rounder with Jack Massey. I says, yes, I had. And that was the week before the first chance at fighting Lawrence Okolie. But I was moved. That was the day I moved out to the Lake District, because Dave texted me saying, can you go down tonight and do like a live weigh-in and all that crap with him? I was like, I can't. I literally can't. I'm in the Lake District now, moving with all the stuff. Sorry. Oh, yeah, no problem. So that night before, we were taking all the stuff, moving out, setting beds up till whatever it was in the morning. This isn't no excuse. This is just what was happening. They'd have beat me anyway, but I was putting beds up till midnight or whatever, and then the next morning got up, drove back down to Buxton. It was quite funny, to be fair, because I was in the weight changing room, and there's loads of us in there. The weight changing rooms was the best changing rooms in the world. I've been in the home changing rooms loads of times. Everyone's in the sponsored gear, headphones on, looking through the eyebrows like I'm dead hard, not talking to no one. You go in the away changing rooms, you're like, it's like you sat in pub. You're all sat there like, hey, good on your throat, yeah, son. They're doing little star jumps and press. Anyway, they had a film crew there for Jack and whatever, and they come into our changing rooms and they were going, are you going to do some pad work or sparring her out? And they were going, what? Warming up? And this one youth, I never remember his name, this one youth stood up, did a couple of stars, and went, yeah, that's it, I'm ready to go.
They're always ready.
Yeah. I remember going to the toilet, and Jack Massey's brother said to me, you should never look past our Jack, you know. I'm like, you know what? He said, I seen you posted on Twitter, I'm fighting Lawrence next week, just a quick 6-rounder with Jack tonight or something. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I went for a piss, went back. But I fought him. It was a good place in all Buxton Dome. I can't really remember a lot about the fight, to be fair. I remember him hitting me. The only thing I can remember about the fight was waking up in the changing room. It sounds strange. I can remember sitting on a chair and it like someone like you'd just been plugged in and like went zzz, and coming back round. And then they seen the doctor walk away. He must have been checking on me. Seen me come back round. Literally like a robot was going zzz. I was like, how did I get here? And Robbie goes, you got stopped in the first round. I go, really? So how did I get back to the changing room? Like, you walked a bit, you danced a bit, you sung a bit, you fell out with someone. I was like, what? He said, yeah, it was his brother shouting something at you. So and then I watched it back and I got stopped. I put my arms in the air, waving, and I walked back to the room. I cannot remember any of it. All I can remember is like when zzz, repowered in the changing room. That was very strange.
Well, a lot of people say he could punch.
Yeah, well, he must be able to punch.
Including,
you don't feel it.
Including Mitchell Smith says he could bang as well from Massey. And I'll mention, he likes to, every time I get somebody on, Jack likes me to message him to tell him that he's been mentioned. Right. So I shall tell him you've definitely been mentioned. He'll ever listen to this one. Yeah, he always does. Yeah. But yeah, again, mate, resume is unbelievable. So you've been plugged back in, mate, and you've woke up. Yeah. And then you've come back against Mike Stafford, mate, who you lost on points to, who also lost to Watkins for the Commonwealth title as well. So again,
that's
great
another
caliber.
one. That's another one where it was let me put on after the Jack Massey fight. I went back home and I went to my mate's house. I had to go to my mate's house for something, and I've worked with this fella. I know where he is, exactly where his house is, all my life. And I rung him up and I was like, Joe, where do you live again, mate? He's like, you what? I says, I don't know where you live. I forgot. And he was like, you need to stop fighting now. He says, that ain't good. But just couldn't think for a minute, that was all. But it was a bit scary, to be fair. Anyway, what on about? Mike Stafford. Yeah, I'd moved to the Lake District at the time. So it was like a new trainer, new setup. I was training hard. And I watched a few of his videos. I thought I'll beat him. But yeah, he's doable. And I actually was, because that was the first fight with the new trainer. I thought, oh, we're going to go for it. And Bob believed in me and was like, we can do this. It was at a football club, Bolton Football Club.
Yeah.
On a Goodwin's show, wasn't it? And that was on Box Nation, to be fair. And anyway, so I can't really remember. Can remember first bit, second round. No, it wasn't nothing special. They weren't outclassing me.
Yeah.
I can remember getting hit in the body. It's all right saying I'd have beat him if he didn't break my ribs, because that's not right, is it? But I can remember hitting me in the body and I'm going, shit. And I had to fight Isaac. No, I didn't. I had to fight Lawrence the week after. I was penciled in again for the second time. I was fighting the week after. I remember sitting on the stool in the corner. I said, my ribs broke. I said, don't look at me. Don't stop it. We're fighting next week. But my ribs just broke. And I thought, shit. So I kept going out and I was trying to punch him. But every time I put my arm out, the pain was unreal. And I was like just trying to get myself through. So I got through the next 2 rounds. But I could have beat... So it's all right saying that. You could have beat him if he didn't bust your rib. But it's a fight, and that's what he's meant to do. But that could have been another lifeline. Because, like I say, if I'd have beat him, would I then fought for the Commonwealth myself? I kept getting thrown so many bones. It's the way it was meant to be. If it's meant to be, I'd have beat them all. But it wasn't meant to be. It was... So, yeah, that was unlucky. I told him he'd done my ribs in. And then that was bad pain, that was.
Yeah.
That was bad pain. Had a couple of days off work. I probably had a few more than a couple of days off work. But I can remember having painkillers to even get out of bed. Codeine. They made me feel horrible and all, but to even get out of bed in the morning, I had to have a couple of codeine.
Yeah.
So whoever, it wasn't even broke. When I went to the hospital, it wasn't broke. It was just badly bruised rib.
Yeah.
Whoever said they've had a broke rib and carried on, which Isaac said to me, you broke my rib in the second round, no chance. Because if I'd broke your rib in the second round, you'd have gone down. I don't care how tough you are, you cannot fight with a broken rib. I couldn't even punch. I was trying.
Yeah.
But that was hard. And then obviously I had to pull out the
Okolie
fight again.
For the second time?
For the second time. One was at Sheffield. I had to pull out because of the Jack Massey one. Can't remember where this one was meant to be. Because they did a documentary on Okolie, and he said he was meant to fight me at Sheffield, but he spoke about me a lot, to be fair. There's some interviews with Eddie and talked about me and all, and that was a lot good to watch. And Bellew, that's the only reason I got to fight him the third time, is Okolie knocked someone out, and Bellew did an interview after and said he was meant to fight Russell Henshaw, which would have been a good one. He can take a lot, he can give a lot. But it never happened, and then all of a sudden you get for a lifeline again, and you get that third chance.
And it did happen the third time.
It did, yeah.
So I feel
was that straight after Mike Stafford or not?
It was, yeah, mate.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. So then I got a phone call. I was meant to go fishing to France for a week, catfishing and whatnot, with a few mates, and Dave rung up and says, we've got you in a fight with Okolie. He says, this is the third and last chance, because he'll have surpassed you, so you'll be no good for him then. And I think it was... There's a big thing with him and Isaac at the time. And
yeah,
Isaac
there was a big beef.
Yeah. Isaac had said in an interview that I gave him nightmares. He had nightmares about me because I just kept walking him down and smacking him. He said, he gives me nightmares, blah, blah. To be fair to Isaac, he was a lovely lad. And he said in a couple of interviews, I was the toughest fight he's had and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Okolie, I was at Wembley. Amazing. I was working in the Lake District at the time. And then you go to the shop and people were going about their Joshua Klitschko undercar. I'm like, yeah, I'm on that. And they're looking at it thinking, no, you're not. What are you in the chippy for? Or whatever like that. So yeah, I'll be there. I can remember the day before I was plastering the ceiling. And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to Wembley tomorrow. And I'm plastering the ceiling. Thinking, I'm going to Wembley tomorrow to fight. And anyway, unfortunately, Robin, my trainer, who's been my trainer all the way through, he had his own show on an amateur club that day, so he couldn't make it. So I rung Steve, one of my friends who'd been in my corner a few times and all, Steve Seary, and he came with me. We drove and then went in on the train kind of thing. Went to the weigh-in, but that's where the skid mark pants come from.
Scarfe, you'll love this story.
Yeah. I don't know why. I sat there one night and I thought, I had this idea of wearing some white pants with chocolate stains in the back. Looks like he's got skids. And I thought, why has no one ever done this before? It's an amazing idea. I was like, I'm going to do it on the Joshua one. My mum, I told my mum the story. She was like, no, Russell. I said, please. She says, please promise me that you will not do it on this one. It's live on Sky News and all this crap. It's too serious of a stage to do it on. I was like, okay, I won't do it. But then the seed's been set in my head, hasn't it? So anyway, I didn't do it that one. I ended up doing it on the O2 one. We'll get onto that in a bit. But go to Wembley, go to the weigh-ins live on Sky News. I don't know, well, I like to say 10,000 people there, but there's loads of people at this weigh-in. We've got a local charity, Ben's Den it is, from Ilkeston. So they gave me a T-shirt and I got it all signed up by all the people. Tony come into my dressing room, to be fair, before he says, same again, he's not been tested, let's take it to him. Shook me hand, we had photos and whatnot, and then I got all these different people to sign it. Katie Taylor signed it. She was fresh on the scene at the time. So she was like as wide-eyed as me looking around, the Lennox Lewis and all these people there. I've got his little tags on, do you know what I mean? He's got his own dressing room with his name on the door. It's like, we made it. It was amazing, to be fair. And
he deserved that moment.
I got weighed in and we did the weigh and we did the stare down and he couldn't look at me. He couldn't look at me. Whether the moment was too big or whatever, but he kept looking everywhere. And I thought, I remember saying, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. We went and we got put up in the posh hotel, eating beef tartare and all this malarkey.
Up there.
Sat with that Spencer fella and all these people that you see on telly, they're all around you. And you're like, yeah, it's like you're there. You're so close to being there. I got picked up in a Porsche Carrera outside the hotel.
Wow.
Hundreds of people waiting to see all these fighters. Little old me walks out with my kit bag, like waving at everyone. They're looking, thinking, who's this? I'm just waving at everyone. Took in the underground in the Porsche underground of Wembley, drove all through. And changing room with your name on the door and a big sticker. I've still got it, to be fair. It wasn't just like a sticker or a bit of paper printed off. It was a proper plastic card with Russell Henshaw, Joshua Klitschko, blah, blah, blah. Massive changing room. Big TV on the wall. And all, I was changing room and they kept saying, you're on after this one. I was a live float, all warmed up. A cutman showed him with me at the time and he knew Stitch, Klitschko's trainer. So got his book signed by Stitch and it was unbelievable, to be fair. And then it was, right, I'm warmed up, I'm ready to go. That one went the distance. Right, another man come running in, little runner. If it gets to such and such time or round 6, you go on next fight. So this kept going on all night, and I was like, there's 95s in there. There's only Joshua left. He's going, if it gets to quarter 2, past quarter 2, you're not going on. If it gets to this, gets to that. And I'm telling you now, there was enough time. I can't pinpoint the times, but I can remember thinking, there's enough time. It was like 2 or 3 minutes before the cut-off time. I thought, there's enough time. But it was such a big stage for him. If he'd have lost to me then, it would have been game over. Not game over for him, but it didn't add up right in his favour. He couldn't look at me in the way in. It was a big stage. It was right in front of the Joshua thing. All the pressure was on him.
You were a threat, mate. You were a threat.
So they said, you can't fight, mate. It's too late. I was like, do I still get paid? He went, yeah. I was sad. So I went and got my money and then we went and watched it through, walked out. And it was a wicked fight, the Joshua Klitschko one.
Yeah, it was.
And then I got offered to fight him 3 weeks later. We fought at Wembley, 0-2.
And this is where the skid marks come in.
This was where the skid marks come in, yeah. Yeah, it was wicked, to be fair. But I bottled it a little bit.
Oh, you did you?
The plan was just have a subtle skid mark, so when you turn round, people see it, but don't know it's there. Right. So it was like, yes, I got my white pants on. But I did the skid mark. Yeah, I tried it with chocolate first. That wasn't very good. So I tried it with yogurt, like an Aero yogurt. Put that on it. Tried a bit of coffee stain. Put a yellow stain on the front. I had about 3 attempts of making these pants. I had some yellow stains at the front. It was amazing. I was laughing myself for ages. And anyway, then I bottled it and I thought, looks a bit bad. So I wrote oops in capital letters in a big permanent marker, which made it look like I knew it were there. Yeah. But I wish I'd have done it so it didn't look like I knew it were there. But anyway. Did that thing, and then on this face-off, he stared me down, and he was confident. So I pissed in the O2 bin, to be fair.
Did you?
Because every time, you know what it's like when you're fighting, you get all your kit on, you got your groin guard on that, and you need a wee. So it's like, all right, I need a wee. And I got really good with my gloves on, getting my knob out and having a wee.
Talent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very good talent, to be fair. You wouldn't believe how you try it, put it on and try it.
Get me gloves on now.
But every time, and I needed a wee, and I thought, it'll pass. And I tried to get it out, and I went outside, so I needed a piss. the toilets was miles away at the O2. Where my little changing room was, you had to walk all the way around to these toilets. And I walked halfway around. I said to one of the stewards, "Where's the toilet?" Well, right around there, right. And I thought, I ain't got a chance. I'm on next. So I went back to the changing room. I said, "Steve, you're gonna have to help me." So I'm like this. I'm going, "Don't worry, don't look." So he's got my knob out, and I've pissed in the bin just to get it out. So that's a claim to fame. Pissed in the O2 bin. Sorry, but it had to go out.
It had to go out, mate, didn't it? And the fight itself, mate, how did it go then?
I can remember walking out there. They played music, 15 Stitches by Imperial Circus, one of my mate's little bands. It was like a 50. It was a good one. I never lost to that track, but obviously I did on that one. But they didn't play that on the telly. They cut it to me just walking in, so I was a bit ashamed. But anyway, I got in the ring, and I can remember got up looking across at him, and he's warming up. And I can remember walking towards him, and then my head jogging back, thinking, "How the hell has he hit me from there? Like his arms aren't that long." Bam! And I can remember him hitting me, but it wasn't like hard. And then hit me in the body, and that put me straight down. And I thought, "Oh, that was a good one." So I stood back up, and then he's come at me again, hit me a few more times. I was laughing, and the ref just waved it off. They could see I wasn't obviously good enough to be in there with him, but I can remember him being so long with his reach.
So you're very awkward.
What's his name? There's the fellow with the bald head who was commentating with Bellew on it, and he said to me straight away, so I looked over, so he went like that, and he went, "Does he hit hard?" I went, yeah. What's his name? I forget what his name was anyway. And then I went back to the changing room, and someone was saying, "Why was you going for the body so much?" To Lawrence in one of the interviews. He didn't have really, he says, I was just fighting or whatever, but he knew I had to pull out of that fight because of a busted rib. But he'd beat me anyway because he was big and strong and I wasn't that good. Yeah. But I went to see him after in the changing rooms, and he had a little film crew there, and he goes, "Oh, them pants were wicked." And I went, "I've still got them on." They was laughing their heads off. He was actually all right, Lawrence was, to be fair. We had a good chat afterwards. Yeah. Beforehand, he was all right annoyed. Like I said, the only one that's ever looked down at me like a piece of muck was that Greg Bridgette. And I should have battered him. Lawrence was nice, to be fair, and he didn't look at you like a piece of meat.
That's good.
Yeah, and after went into the change room, like I say, and they was all laughing their heads off. I just wandered in, and he says, "Yeah, I love them pants, mate." I was like, "I still got them on, look at it."
It's a genius idea, that, isn't it? To be fair.
Can't believe no one's ever done it. I could not believe when I thought about it. I thought, why has no one ever done this? This is perfect.
We'll have to do that again sometime, somebody. But yeah, again, the calibre were amazing, mate. And then, oh God, you then went in after the Isaacs. Obviously, Lawrence has become WBO world champion. Yeah. And then later on, as we know, Chris Billam Smith beats Okolie, which was a bit of a shock. Yeah. So, again, in the deep end, mate, you come out in your go, you come out with Lawrence, and you go straight in Chris Billam Smith.
Yeah. Down at Bournemouth. That was a nice little trip.
Was he a good fighter?
Can't remember. That was another one where I can remember being overweight a little bit. I can remember texting Dave saying, I might be 14, or I'm a bit heavy. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." So, but I tried my hardest to get down to weight. And on the day, I got made weight, and I come in at normal weight, and he come in over. I thought, cheeky, but whether David said to him, he's coming over, he's going to be over, so don't worry about your weight.
This was his debut as well, wasn't it?
It was his debut, yeah. And this is where we met, what's his face, McGuigan.
Yeah.
So I made weight, he didn't make weight, and it was at the Bournemouth O2, like, Lyceum thing. That was a good venue. Well, all I can take from that is, I can remember going to have some food after the weigh-in and whatever. We went with some food. And it's the only time I've walked past, turned round and come back out because him and his team was sat in there. I'd be like, "They're in there, let's go and sit in there." So he's just sitting there having the crack and looking and waving and being an idiot. But for some reason, I walked up with my coach and I opened the door and I seen them all in there. So I just shut the door and went somewhere else. Don't know why I did that, but anyway. Come out to fight, I can remember him like looking like a Greek god. He was massive. He was massive, and it was like he got fake tan all over him. And obviously, 5 minutes before my fight, Shane McGuigan had walked in with his officials, take his gloves off him and bring him in back just before the fight. So I had to take my gloves, just been getting warmed up in him. I had to take my gloves off, hand them over. They wandered off, and then 5 minutes later or whatever, they come back. It wasn't long. 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, they come back, give me my gloves back, I put them back on. Whether it was a mind game, I don't know, but I was there to lose. It didn't matter anyway. You know what I mean? I wasn't bothered. I wasn't trying to beat him. But that's him again. Dave rung me the morning of that one. You've got this, Russ. It can be a big upset here. They said they believed in me. Fair play to them.
They did believe in you, mate. I know. You're a talent.
I know. It's a shame, innit? That's the hardest bit.
But listen, mate.
Life's long of them, innit?
Life.
You've got a mortgage. You've got kids. You go to work. If someone would have said to me, "Here's 50 grand. Have a year off. Train like a pro. Train hard. I got to beat Isaac 100% because I nearly beat him anyway. I just lost something. Dupree, done him in. Joseph Lopez, done him in. What's the other one's name? Mark Stafford.
Yeah.
None of them. Lawrence and Massey was a different calibre. They'd have beat me anyway.
Yeah, so we got, after you've been in with Billam Smith, mate, I mean, you went in with Matt Sen, didn't you?
Yes.
How did that come around then? Did you offer it at short notice or what?
Yeah, always. They always, the old defensive one next week. I just said I'll fight every week if I could. Matt Sen, I think he was a bit of a rugby player and then turned pro. I can remember the promoter making a big deal of it and whatnot. It was we ended up getting changed in a toilet. So I can remember saying to my mate, it was in the O2 a couple of weeks ago, getting changed in my own changing room. Now I'm in a pub toilet lot and there's a picture of me bag on a toilet chair. Anyway, I just did the normal journeyman thing for that one. I can remember hitting him with a body shot actually, and I thought, I better calm down a bit here because I didn't like that one. You just cover up and just let him do what he does. That's another one where you could have easily beat him. Yeah, easily, yeah.
But then obviously, mate, like you said, took that at short notice. You knew what you were doing then.
Yeah,
mate.
I knew what I was doing. Everyone after Isaac, I knew what I was doing. I trained a little bit for the Lawrence one to be because it was like a big arena. I was running and sparring and whatever because we wanted a little bit of an upset, but it was a different class.
Yeah. And then obviously you went away from Matt Sen, mate, for your final fight with a guy who I got a few good vibes about him at the time when you were fighting, in Damien Chambers.
Yeah.
I think he only went on to win the Central Area, if I'm not mistaken, and that were only... But a lot of people thought he'd go a bit further.
Oh, yeah.
But you've got a little story about this fight, haven't you? It wasn't a very nice one in your way, was it?
No. He was a little bit of a rapper DJ and all, wasn't he? And I can remember at the time we had a burger van up in the Lake District and one of his mates come to it and we were just talking about boxing. He says, I'm going to watch my mate Damien fight at Bolton. I went, yeah, no, I'm fighting him. He was like, all right. I said, yeah, I'm fighting him. Anyway, went to do the fight. I think it was the second round or whatever. I went to jab him and I'd overreached. He'd slipped inside of it and threw a big right hand. So my hand is past his head. His right arm's come over with a big right. My hand's trapped against his head and it's just snapped my arm. So I've gone down and I thought, what's going on here? I got back up and I tried to jab him and my arm's like a piece of jelly and I'm thinking, what the... Panicking, and the next thing you know, it hits me a few times and the ref stops it. Sat in the corner, I'm going, my arm's broke. And the medic's coming across going, stop moving it. I'm going, yeah, but look at it. And it's wobbling all over the shop. Obviously, the adrenaline's rushing through your body that far, you don't feel nothing. You like you say, I'm going, it's broke, just stop moving it. So I went to the hospital, and where did we go to? Preston Hospital. I sat there in the waiting room, I got my kids with me. And my partner at the time, and I sat there for ages. And there was quite a busy waiting room Saturday night. It was late, and I thought, I'm not waiting here. The poor kids and whatever. I said, come on, we'll go home. I'll come back tomorrow. I went home, put it on a pillow, went to sleep. Got up the next day, went back down, had an X-rayed. It was clean snapped at the forearm bit. They put me in a cast. I wanted a white one so I could write on it. We signed it all and put stickers all over it. I had a couple of days off work for that because I rung up and says, I broke my arm, but I'll come in for half the money and just do what I can. But because I know I worked hard, I probably worked harder than anyone else with 2 arms and did with one. So I was driving dumpers and that. Anything you can do with one arm, I was doing. And so, yeah, I didn't have much time off for that. But that was the kind of it. I lost my licence. Well, I didn't lose my licence then. That's a lie. I had to wait to renew it and see. There was a bit in between about Simon Barkley. I was meant to fight him. Fought him 3 times in the amateur. I meant to fight him as a pro for an area title. But then they pulled it because I kept getting stopped, so they changed it to one of these other belts. And then they set it all up. It was called Bad Boys, and me and him was going to be top of the bill. But then they took my licence off me because I got stopped again.
Yeah.
But that never happened, which would have been a wicked one in the pros, to be fair. But then when I went to the doctors, and it was a yearly eye test again, so I went to get my eyes tested, and they was like, you need to go to the hospital. You've got something wrong with your eyes, and they rushed me straight in thinking that it could have been something bad. But it was just nerve damage. My nerves was nerve damage in my eyes, so my eyes wasn't working together. I could see 2 of everything.
Wow.
This happened for quite a while, to be fair, while I was still fighting. I was getting home at night and watching telly, and every time I was tired, I had to tilt my head, or I'd see 2 of everything. I had to tilt it to make them go to 1. It was quite bad, and this is when I was thinking, you need to stop really, Russ. It's getting a bit silly. I was like that with one eye. I couldn't see how I had a great tilt to my head. But because it was the COVID, and I had the operation booked in, then COVID hit, and it all went Pete Tong for a bit. And then I moved back from the Lake District to Derbyshire, Ilkeston. So I re-registered with a doctor, and then last year I got the operation, finally got it done. I've been waiting a long time. But it's a good job I did, because if I'd had the operation within that month, I'd have been back fighting the month after. So to be fair, I had like 2 years I had to wait for this operation to get my eyes fixed. It probably was a godsend, because by that time, I had a couple of fights in between that. I had another unlicensed fight, K1 fight. He was a guy from up this way, to be fair, trained at Fight Unit. What's his name? Josh Shears. Anyway, that was a K1 fight. It was 15 kilo heavier. But I watched the video and I thought, I'm too experienced, I'll beat him. And anyway, we went for the clinch. He let go of the clinch, whack, hit me in that 15 kilo canter, because I was that cold. I was that cold snoring. I got knocked out a few times with it. Another one was sparring, ready for the Isaac Chamberlain fight. I went to Shinfields and sparred. This lad hadn't even had a pro fight. It was one of these kids that is in the gym permanently all the time, but never actually had a fight or done anything. I forget his name, but we had a right good tear up. And then I woke up, and I was like, come on, let's carry on. And Nick went, no way, you've just been out cold snoring for 2 minutes or more. I was like, no chance, no hand. He goes, look at this. He filmed it, and he looked on my phone, and I'm like, it was one of them moments where any one of us would have gone to sleep. We were swinging for the fences, both of us getting stuck in. So I ended up, I can't show you, I ended up with loads of, my teeth went through my lip. And then Nick had this thing on his phone, and I'm on the floor, like face down. But you just wake up, and it's amazing, to be fair. When you get spotted out, you never feel a thing, and it's like you just woke up. Just wake straight up, and like, come on, let's carry on. But no, that's another one. I've got carried away with another story there. Where was we? Yeah, and I had a K1 fight. Oh, yes, I had another one in the Lake District, actually. A mate of mine, Lee Kellett. I had 2. Yeah, I had 2. Lee Kellett, and put a show on, and it was one of these Baiba shows. So all the presidents of that were all there and whatnot. And it was a Scottish fella, and he come in my corner. The promoter man did, because I took my mate from the sheepskin shop, Rick from the sheepskin that I'd been training with, and he did my corner for me. It was meant to be a 3-rounder, but I'd beat him. So they goes, at the end of the 3rd round, they went, it's too close to call. Who wants to see another round to decide it? And everyone was like, yes, it was another round. And literally, I've got it on my phone still, the video. The last 20 seconds of the round, I got on top and I smacked him and I dropped him. Before he hit the canvas, they're ringing the bell and they're going, that didn't count, it was after the bell. Right, and the referee come up to me then, he went, I'm ever so sorry, Ross, bought me a pint. I was like, what?
Unbelievable.
It was brilliant, that was. Yeah, and Oh, I can't remember. But all the people from Baib and that were there and shit, yeah. There was another one in the Lake District. Someone messaged me saying, "Would you? I'm doing a show. Would you mind doing a little spar with me at the end of the show? Would you do a spar? Nothing heavy." I was like, yeah, I know where. So I turned up there, give me a couple £100. Anyway, we had this little spar, and then the ref raised his hand at the end like a winner, and I thought, what's going on here? Then he's posting like, yeah, I won this fight, blah blah blah.
Sneaky
bugger. It was a spot. That was brilliant, to be fair.
A sneaky bugger.
It was proper sneaky. Wow. But then they offered me a rematch with that lad from the Lake District, and I said yes to it. Like I said yes to fighting Alex McKenzie again. But then when you think about it, I thought, I've just had an operation. I'm my own worst enemy. It's like, don't do it anymore, Russ. You've done enough. You don't need to do it anymore. But that thrill of a fight don't leave you, does it?
It's hard to let go into.
It's horrible to you. There's the massivest hole in your body that you need to fill with that adrenaline rush. Like I say, there's no other feeling in the world that touches when you're letting loose. But that was a funny one. I can remember showing everyone, look at this. This is the 4th round of a 3-round fight. This is the deciding round now. They must have thought I was going to get tired or something. But I didn't get tired, and I literally hit him with 1, hit him with 2, and he dropped over. And as soon as he's dropping, they went ding, 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 ding. And you look on the video, and there's like 1 minute 20 seconds, so there's 40 seconds left, or whatever they had. Ding, 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 and the rest went. That was after the bell. That didn't count. And then he won the belt. It was some made up belt anyway. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
we got a free fight after it.
Yeah. He comes straight up to me because I'm ever so sorry, Russ. You bought me a pint.
You know.
Well, that's brilliant, mate.
That is brilliant.
Is anybody else you want to mention? Can you think of? I think you mentioned Dave.
All my sponsors, to be fair. I had a lot of sponsors when I first started. Everyone believed in me, and I thank you so much, because all of them, I couldn't have done anything without selling them tickets and winning the first 6 and starting the dream.
Yeah.
The dream wouldn't have gone.
So please mention these sponsors, mate. It's very important.
I'm trying to remember. A lot of sponsors. Vauxhall Repair Centre, Ilkeston, John, he sponsored me, looked after me really well. Titan Rail, it's not going anymore. Matt Bagley and Rob Clark, they gave me quite a lot of stuff, to be fair. Bought me loads of gloves and did what I ever wanted. Took me out in Leeds, bought me some clothes, so I didn't have no clothes to go out for a beer with after. There's Dean Kiss, he's moved to Australia now. But I never wanted much. I said it was £250 a year for the sponsors, which is nothing really. But I didn't feel good enough to take big money off people. All I wanted, I thought if I got 8 or 9 sponsors, there was one MKM Builders Merchants, they used to sponsor me. I couldn't with bringing the toppings so I could read them all.
Yeah. You know what? People like that, mate, are vital to you. And even if you don't mention all these sponsors, they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are.
They all know they are.
I've got Bash who used to sort my buses out for me, to be fair.
Nice.
I used to have a sponsored by CoachHire.com because I used to get coaches from them. But instead of me having all the stress of it, Bash used to just sort all the tickets out, sort all the buses out. And so, he took a lot of stress off me. All my friends, I don't need to mention all them names, but they all bought stuff.
Sounds like you had a good group of friends, mate.
I had a wicked group of friends, mate.
You still have now, bit sound.
Yeah, we've got our own little gym set up at the minute, to be fair. Ilson Fight Unit, it's called. Yeah. We've not got his amateur licence yet. We're just in the motion. A couple of coaches are going through that. We're going to get his amateur licence and do it properly. But yeah, we've got about 50 kids coming in a minute. There's 2 classes, 5 to 10-year-olds and 10 to 15 or whatever it is, and we've got adults classes. But some of the kids are wicked, to be fair, and it'd be a shame not to be able to take them anywhere. So to go amateur and do it properly, that's the thing. Whether I get my pro trainers and all that, it's too much. I've done a lot. I've given all of my life to fighting. So to keep giving it, it's like...
Yeah.
I've done my bit, I think. Yeah, I've got families and I've got a life to live myself. Without Melanie, I'll have to give her a shout out. She'll
if you don't, mate, she will kill you. The Viking bride, definitely,
the
Viking
bride, she's badass.
Well, the difference is I've got a skinhead like me, mate, but the difference between me and you can grow your hair back.
Grow it, like, I can't. As you see. I'm getting a nice big plait in it.
But like I said, though, Russ, mate, things might not have worked out perfectly for you.
No.
But I'll tell you something now, mate. I say it to a few people, I'll say it to you, a lot of respect for that career you had, mate. It was an amazing short career you had.
To be fair.
And I tell you what, mate, You can balls to your world titles.
Yeah,
right? There's not
that's
many
it.
people who can clean to piss in an O2 bin.
And the memories are unbelievable. You know, imagine walking out of into Wembley, walking out and seeing thousands of people, and you're getting in a Porsche with your kit bag, and they're all waiting there. I can remember actually Conor Benn, where it was a weigh-in for the Okolie fight at the O2. I'm waiting to see the doctor, and Conor Benn's in front of me in the queue, and then he had to nip off, and then he had to nip back in. It was like, "Can I go back there?" I was like, "No, you've gone out the queue. I'm here." I laughed at him. He smiled at me.
And so it should, man.
Yeah,
so
and
it
then
should.
Went back to the hotel, and you get in the lift, and Joe Cordina and all his crew walk in. It was like in the lift, and you go, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Brilliant,
You've
mate.
always got to have a laugh. Yeah, I've met some amazing people.
You most certainly did, mate.
The Leeds one, to be fair, when I fought Isaac, I got picked up from the matchroom car, coming to pick us up, and guess who sat in it? Eddie Hearn sat in the matchroom car, waiting to take me back to my hotel. How you going, mate? Oh. It was mad. It was like, that was a good of a barnstorming dust up, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was like, but then I went back to this hotel and they're all there. I said to Isaac, are you having a beer? He was like, no, I'm going to go and get myself to bed. So I had a few beers. A couple of my mates come over, and we was in there for a few hours. We got on a bit of a session, and I got a bit of noia on. I was like, I can't stay in here. We had a big posh hotel room. I was like, I can't stay in here. We need to go to your hotel. Where you? I was like, I'm in the travel lodge down the road, or whatever hotel it was. He says, come on, we're going to go back to yours. So we walked all the way through Leeds, sat in his hotel, and there's 2 bunk beds and like a tiny little bit of room was there like that. Went, oh my God, we should have stayed in my hotel. Us 3 sat there, and then it got to like 8, 9 in the morning. We're like, I walked to the shop, and we sat outside the shop on the curb with his last can, waiting for the shop to open to get another can. I was like, I can remember sitting there thinking, just imagine if I just won a world title or a British title. We sat outside this shop waiting to get a red stripe, me, you and you. Paparazzi's on you.
That is how the other half lived, mate.
That was how the other half lived. That was wicked, to be fair.
So, to be fair, mate, you should win a second world title for these skid marks and all.
I've got some world titles coming my way.
Yeah, most certainly, mate.
I'll tell you another thing, sorry. I
keep going,
it's my
mate.
show, isn't it? Is it my show or your show?
It's your show, buddy. It's your
So
time.
the first time I met Eddie, I was sparring quite often with Tony, obviously 2 or 3 times a week. And he gave me some ringside tickets to go and watch him at Liverpool at Echo Arena. I think this was the one before his title fight. So I went down there. They invited me to after he fought. He must have liked me, to be fair, because after he fought, he come to my seat with his little kit bag on. So I go in, Ross, brother. I introduced him to people over here, and after party at this place. So I went back and was at this bar, and Eddie walked in. And to fair play to him, I was stood there, and I bet it was half an hour from him walking in the door, which wasn't much further away from here. He had a photo with every single person that asked him, signed stuff, he did whatever he wanted. It took him that long to get to the bar. And I'm stood at the bar next to him, and I'm looking at him, and I didn't dare ask him. So I'm like this, I've got my phone out, trying to get him in the background over my photo. And he looked straight at me, and he knew who I was, because I was signed to fight Isaac. So he knew who I was, but I was like this to get a sneaky selfie, because I didn't dare say it. But fair play to him for, so, like you say.
To be fair, very few people saying that Matchroom was looked after him.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You're not the first one to say that.
Yeah, unbelievable. Matchroom. Like I say, it's hard for any pro who's not a superstar. It's a horrible, horrible game. But if you make it, then the rewards are phenomenal.
And you had some rewards, mate, as well.
I had some amazing rewards. Yeah, not the money, just the, like you say, their memories,
experiences,
the memories. Yeah, live weigh-ins on telly and whatever. Fighting in some of the biggest venues, O2, Wembley.
Wow.
Been on Box Nation, been on Channel 5, been on Eurosport. That was good. And when I fought Moses, I'm glad I've lost it off my telly now.
You're probably able to find that somewhere, you know. Eurosport's quite good for that.
I've tried to find them, but the only things I can find on YouTube is the ones where I lost, I just went to lose. But they all film them for the meet, so that's not really me. That's the Isaac Chamberlain fight was me. Probably at the best I was going to be.
Well, I think we're going to have to look at that fight. I'm
watch it. It's good.
I'm going to watch that
fair.
fight.
Watch
I'll have to watch that, Scarfe.
It's good. You can see my mates all in the background. You can see me looking at Dave. And yeah, it was a good one that was, to be fair. To try and make it, it's hard. I can remember someone saying years ago, 2% of boxers actually make enough to make a living off. And it's that realisation where you're thinking, I said to you earlier, I think, you're thinking, if I fight for a British title and I'm not like a well-known superstar, let's say you got 10 grand, so you got 10, 12-week training camp, fight 3-4 times a year. You're a road warrior fighting low-level prospects for whatever it is. You can fight 12 times once a week and earn more money than a British title man can. And it's like, I thought, I'll go that way. I'll fight every week. But my trouble was I started fighting good people every week. Not
You certainly did.
I should have just fought your Matt Sens and your people like that, and you could have just survived them and done one every week. But I beat that Joseph Burke, and then I'd fight someone decent, and then until I lost a few more, then the lower level ones want to fight you. But I was never going to be a good journeyman because I like to fight too much.
You like to win as well.
Yeah, but like you say, did we talk about the operation when I got my eyes fixed? Yeah. I had them fixed now and I feel all right. I found a few more hobbies that give me that.
What are you doing now then, mate, for hobbies?
Bit of caving, bit of climbing. Yeah, I'm a mad fisherman. I like my fishing anyway. But to get that adrenaline rush, there's no better feeling than the feeling of you could die any second, if that makes sense. So you're hanging off a cliff and you're like, I could die. One slip and I can die. You know what I mean? There's no more better way to feel alive than just feel like you can die any second.
They said you needed they said that boxing leaves a big void in your life. You need something to fill it, mate. Yeah. Well, it seems like you found that there, mate.
I found it.
All I'm going to say is, mate, it's a pleasure to see you. Yeah. I'm so glad you've come over and seen us, mate.
Thank you,
I've thoroughly enjoyed this interview. I think it's been great. And respect for that career, mate. And thank you for coming in.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
thank you very much.
All the best,
thank
Russ.
you. Bless you.
The Journeyman Cave is produced by James Proud. Music by Ryan Carrier. Special thanks to Rhythmic Studios for hosting. All views expressed are of the guests only. The Journeyman Cave and host bear no responsibility for any opinions given. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter @The Journeyman Cave.